So what's the research and how does EFT actually work? What we understand to date is there is a certain part in the brain that sends out the stress response. It's often responsible for why we might not feel great. We might have an anger feeling, we might have an anxious or a worried feeling. And we know that that part of the brain responds when we do the tapping or the EFT technique. It appears to calm these parts of the brain, one of them being the amygdala. The hippocampus is another part of the brain that sits near the amygdala, that stress response centre. And the hippocampus is often responsible for storing memories, and it will remind us sometimes of a similar event in our past. We now have over 100 published trials across 10 different countries, numerous journals. And we know that EFT has amazing responses across a range of different conditions. So we have evidence that's there to support it for decreasing phobias, for treating symptoms like post-traumatic stress disorder, for even things like weight loss and food cravings, as well as things like chronic pain and peak performance. All of those clinical trials have been run over the last 10 years and are now widely available for people to read the research and evidence behind them. We have trials that are coming out supporting its use for school students for things like exam anxiety, and the list is continuing. Depression is included in that list, and like I said, specific pain conditions like fibromyalgia. So the evidence base is building. We know there's a part of the brain that seems to be responding, and we've most recently had research that has come out and said EFT actually has the ability to turn off or deregulate up to 6 genes in our bodies that are responsible for the stress symptoms and syndrome. So we now know we have this tool that actually has a physiological effect on us. We know that cortisol, that stress hormone that's released when we're in that state, is actually downregulated as well with the EFT technique. I encourage you to go and read more around the EFT research. There's so much on offer that EFT can actually be useful for that I encourage you to explore them all.